So I've never ran a triathlon before, but we got 3.5 months to train for an Ironman. Let's do it.
Bonjour, guten Morgen, and welcome to Tiny Calves. My name is Alex. I am the founder of this channel. We are going to focus on following journeys to create and motivate others to complete their fitness journeys. So the first journey that we're doing this season right now is going to be the Ironman Challenge. Before we start though, I want to set expectations. This is my first time doing any of this YouTube content and social media content. So please take it easy on me at the beginning and expect that it will get better and better as we go on. Before we dive too deep into this though, I want to talk quick about the Ironman race. The Ironman race is a triathlon that consists of 3 parts: swimming, cycling, and running. They all consist of various lengths, but it is the most well-known triathlon and considered one of the hardest and longest triathlons that exists. The swim portion consists of 2.4 miles cycling, then afterwards is 112 miles, and then you go into your final transition into the run, which is a full marathon. What we're focusing in on this time is building a routine in order to create success. We have approximately 3.5 months in order to finish this. And I'm really focusing in on building out a weekly plan that will allow me to both train very hard and recover effectively. So it breaks down like this. On Sunday, I normally start out with a tempo run, which means for a period of the time that I'm running, I will be pushing my pace to the limit. On Tuesday, then we'll go into a recovery swim that will average anywhere from 45 minutes to an hour and will slowly increase the increments as the training goes on. On Tuesday will be a tempo bike ride. And the goal for my tempo bike ride right now is to get my average mile an hour above 20 miles an hour. On Wednesday then is a recovery run, and typically I'll do anywhere from 1 hour to 1.5 hours. On Thursday then is a tempo swim, where a portion of the swim workout is dedicated to an all-out sprint. And on Friday is a bike ride, where I try to ride on average about 2 hours. Finally, Saturday is the rest day. So this really is kind of the schedule that I'm going for. I'll eventually increase all these increments and maybe switch it up and do some 2 days as it goes on. But I'll definitely, before each week, give you an update on what the training schedule is. So we're just going to dive right into this week's training. This first workout on Sunday, this was a tempo run. I'm focused on pace on the tempo runs. I was able to maintain a 7:43 pace, which is sub 8. And then I come down here and I look at the time that I was in each of the heart rate zones. So on a tempo run, I typically try and keep my zone 4 of at least above 25%. And I was able to maintain a 30% in zone 4. Recovery shakeout swim, I swam for about 30 minutes. I don't really care how far I swim when I do these, but I do like to sometimes look at these intervals, and they have some pretty cool graphs here on the Garmin Connect app. You can see that it tells when you're swimming freestyle versus when you're swimming breaststroke. On these, I typically swim 500 yards, and then I do a 50 of breaststroke. Cycling is next up. This is a tempo ride. I was going for an average speed of above 20 miles an hour. You can see that I fell a little bit short at 19 miles an hour. There was a 15 mile an hour wind, which may have contributed, but I say no more. So let's come down here and check out times in the zones. So you'll see that most of these zones in the heart rate for the bike is in zone 3,
it's tough to really get up into zone 4 when you're on the bike unless you're really pushing it hard. So that's something that I'm going to be working on in the upcoming weeks. Next is a shakeout run, kind of a relaxing run. I wanted to run for about an hour, which is what I did there. Not a very fast pace, kept it right around 8:50. If you come down here to the time zones, you can tell that I was taking it a little bit easier. There's no zone 4 at all. I have most of the time here in zone 3 and zones 2. The next day here was a pretty difficult pool swim. I swam for about 1250 yards. And if we go down to the intervals, you can see exactly what we did here. I did a 500-yard warm-up, which was followed by the workout set, which was 5 100 individual yard lengths on the 2 minutes. You can tell right here that I was averaging about a minute and a half per 100, and then I had about a 30-second rest, and then I closed off with a 250-yard. Final workout of the week was a shakeout cycling. I tried to go for about 2 hours. I got about 34 miles. It was a beautiful ride, went up and down some very nice hills, was able to go actually out with a friend of mine. And you can see that we were hanging out in zones 1 and 2 for most of the ride. There was a couple times that we peaked up into zone 3, but this, like I said, this was a really good shakeout ride. And
that's a wrap. Thank you so much for following the first episode of Tiny Calves. As previously mentioned, as it goes on, these will get better and you'll get more of an idea of what we're striving for. So until then, if you want to have more instant updates, we have an Instagram account, TikTok account, also a Facebook account. So please feel free to follow all those as you would. I'll put those down in the link description below.